Hey there, good afternoon, friends. It's Miss Tiffany here from First United Methodist Church in Taylor, Texas. I hope you're having a great afternoon, and today I'm going to read you a book about a story that is found in the Bible in the book of Luke, chapter 10, and this is called The Parable of the Good Samaritan, written by Helen Caswell, and she drew the pictures as well. And this story is a story that Jesus told to his disciples and followers. The Bible says that we should love our neighbor as we love ourselves. Once someone asked Jesus, "But who is my neighbor?" To answer the question, Jesus told the story of the Good Samaritan. One day, a man was walking along between the towns of Jerusalem and Jericho. It was a very scary place. The road went steeply downhill through wild, rocky country that everyone knew was full of robbers. That is very rocky. Suddenly, a band of these robbers attacked the man and beat him and stole everything he had, even his clothes. He looks scared. Thinking they had killed him, the robbers rode off into the wilderness. The man lay unconscious at the side of the road, face down in the dust. After a while, his eyes opened, but he was too badly hurt to get up or even cry out. He's hurt very badly. Then he saw a priest coming along the road toward him. The priest was from the church that the man went to in Jerusalem. He will help me, the man thought. There's the priest. But as the priest came closer, he crossed over to the other side of the road, and he wouldn't even look at the man lying there. The man could hardly believe it, and he turned his head as far as he could to watch the priest walking away from him. I can't believe that. How awful. More time passed, and finally someone else came along the road. It turned out to be a Levite, a very important person in the church in Jerusalem. But the Levite crossed over to the other side of the road and walked right on past, pretending not to see him, just as the priest had. So the Levite disappeared down the road. The injured man wept his tears into the dust. He knew that he would die if someone didn't come to help him soon. There's the Levite. He didn't help either. What's going to happen to this poor man? As he lay there helpless, he heard the soft sound of hooves and the cheerful jingle of harnesses. He looked up and saw a man riding toward him on a donkey. As the rider came closer, the injured man could see by the kind of clothing he wore that he was a Samaritan. Now the injured man was Jewish, and the Jews and the Samaritans didn't even speak to each other. So the man thought that if the priest and the Levite hadn't stopped, the Samaritan certainly wouldn't stop either. But wonder of wonders! When the Samaritan saw the man lying beside the road, he pulled his donkey to a stop. He got off, and he knelt over the wounded man, shaking his head in sympathy. Then from his saddlebags, the Samaritan took some cloth and jars of oil and wine. He poured oil and wine over the man's wounds to clean them and help them to heal, and he bound them up with the linen cloth. Thank goodness, someone is finally helping this poor man. Then, very carefully, the Samaritan lifted the man up and put him on the donkey. Walking along beside them, the Samaritan went along the road until they came to the town, and there they stopped at an inn. So there he is. He's holding him, helping hold him onto the donkey. What a good man. The Samaritan got a room at the inn and made the injured man comfortable. He watched over him all night and the next day. When he had to go on his way, he left money with the innkeeper to pay for the man to stay until he was well enough to travel. That was really nice of him. Jesus told this story because he wanted us to understand that our neighbors are not just the people who live next door to us. When the Bible says that we should love our neighbors, we should love our neighbors as love ourselves. It means that we should love anyone who needs loving. So there you go. That was a great story and a great message. And Jesus wanted us to remember that, friends, that we should help anyone that needs help. All right? Thank you, friends. We'll see you next time for another children's story. Bye-bye.